Looks good. Wow. My mic is working. Yay. Hallo, hallöchen. How are you today? Welcome in on this fine Thursday evening. Also welcome in Nightsap, our co-pilot. Also
Hello,
here.
hello.
How are you guys? It's nice to have you here. Howdy, Robbie. Welcome back. Flight engineer. How you doing?
Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while.
How is Mom? Everything fine? Well, let's say we are here today in Ecuador for some miles and then we cross over the border to Colombia. And let's see how far we go in Colombia. There's some very nice airports. One is Cajario Special. I'm so looking forward to this one.
Oh, God.
You know what kind of airport?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, is there also medication for takeoff dysfunction? Because I could use that.
Ready to take off. Nice to have you. Mom is great. That's cool. That's good to hear. And cool you're flying again. We were missing you. There over there is Robbie. Wavage, wavage. So, I would say let's pack up the camp. Let's pack up the camp. That's special nom. Hope you're all set, co-pilot and flight engineer. You have your noms on the desk.
I have a big cup of chai on the desk.
Ooh. Let's back up the camp. Shwoop-de-whoop.
You want to
Everything
taxi to Robbie's end of the runway?
Give me a second.
mean,
Camp does not want to hack itself.
Oh,
Now, there. I closed the window too early. Yeah, doesn't matter really. Wind is
yeah,
from the side.
we're almost at the end of the runway, and it's a very long one.
Sorry, what you mean with isn't that a little personal? Yeah, the sound. I missed that.
What is this on the runway here?
A catastrophe?
No, have you seen this? This structure here.
I haven't looked at it at the right now.
It's a funny
This
structure.
is working. Swing.
What
Well,
is this?
Robbie, the new sounds is awesome. The new startup is also awesome. What's not awesome?
It's everything else.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Good
Robbie,
evening from the pool. Good evening to the pool.
Hello,
Hello,
Kingsman.
Kingsman.
Yeah.
How's it
No,
going?
Robbie, we both, Kahari and I, went back to update with the Spitty, so we're flying the version 2 updates before, because we just couldn't handle that latest version. Let's see what you think of it.
It wasn't fun anymore.
It taxied like crazy, and it lost power in the air. So we were not too happy with it.
Well, at least you will have fun.
If there is something funny, let's put it that way, it might not be your fault. It might be the Spitty.
Spitties. And maybe something to laugh will come out. Do.
I got so fed up with the Spitty that for a while I just flew the Messerschmitt.
Have you seen that post which I did on Discord that they were fishing out a Messerschmitt BF-109 G4 from the Second World War out of the sea?
No. Is that in your general
Yeah, in my
Laberecke or something like that?
exactly.
Yeah. I have to have a look. Why are you going backwards? Yes, that's one of the quirks. That
Good
is
luck.
one of the quirks. Yeah.
I hope you have your old Spitty saved.
Yep. But jump back 2 versions. Not just the
Exactly.
last update, but the update before that. No. He's... Yeah. Yep.
Who's gonna win?
There's a building there. Yes, and of course the Spitty made straight for the building. That's what mine always does too.
Nothing
R.I.P.
to see here. Move along.
Oh.
That are not the droids you're looking for.
I mean, I'm not in the air yet, and I see a lot of buildings on both sides.
You were so curse. Okay. There we go. Okay.
No, I don't think so either. It's very close to the runway.
So, how is it up there at the pool? What's your weather like,
It's
Kingsman?
snowy at all.
I see a catus patus. What's that for a bird?
I posted a screenshot today on the Memes and Jokes channel of the Scottish gritters and snowplows, and they all have funny names. There's
Okay.
an interactive map where you can see where they are and what their names are. It's quite funny.
What do you mean you can't restart your plane? Is your propeller broken?
You just click on the propeller, then it's fine.
Exactly.
Probably. Don't from inside the plane. Click on the propeller.
See a cat. What's a BE 38?
BE 38.
Is that for a bird? Bird. There's a catus patus.
Does he have a BE 38?
He wasn't a BE 38, but he's somehow the nameplate is gone.
Well, Robbie is behind me.
Yes.
You are.
I'm
But
behind Robbie.
You are actually, for me, you are parked in a sort of funny structure on the runway.
Well, there is no funny structure on the runway. Maybe a spitty
Why do
nose
I
down,
have that?
tail up.
Why do I have that?
I don't
It
know.
looks like a sort of gangway, which is parked across the runway.
I don't have that.
This is really funny. What have I got that you haven't in your sim? I've
Common
reloaded.
sense.
Shut up. I'm talking about the sim. We both have the same mesh. Okay, I have the add-on for the runways reinstalled. Maybe that's where it comes from.
I have the Rex. Oh, I need to close Rex.
Yeah, I have two Rexes. I have the seasons
I just have
and
the season Rex. Wow.
I have the runways textures.
So, do we take
Mm.
off? I
Hello,
heard a
hello
cat
again.
spat
Oh,
us.
hello.
Hello. How are you guys?
Fine,
Fine.
and you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad.
Is Ibiza still standing?
Yeah.
Robbie made
Not-
it! Yay!
Robbie is in the air. Okay.
Robbie is a
has
very brave guy. He flies with a new Spitty catbat.
Oh,
and
wow.
he has not tested that version before, so
Oh, that is very brave indeed.
he has a lot of fun.
I'm sure he will have.
As you see, I'm also back in the Spitty.
I'm also brave. I'm in the new Finanza.
Ah, that's the B-38.
Is that fast
Is it?
enough?
It should be B-36, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's is it fast enough? Well, we'll see. I may have to switch into something else if it isn't. But yeah, it's the turbocharged version, so it should have a bit of punch.
Hopefully it will not punch you, catbat.
Hopefully, yeah. I've done a few already test flights, and yeah, so far so good.
That's good.
Okay. So my first attempt was a definite no.
The Spitty showed you.
But
What
she
happens?
left the runway, and then right next to the runway there is something like a trench,
Of
which
course.
caused her to kiss the ground. Fortunately, in that old version, you don't break your propeller.
But she's still aiming for the obstacles then.
Well, I mean, Robbie did the same. On his first takeoff, he smashed straight into the next building. They just, I don't know. I mean, the
We
Messerschmitt
did
was
not
like that
see
too.
that. Come on. We did not see that.
It's just normal. I'm sure that before there were Spitties around, there were a lot more buildings on airports.
You think?
Yeah.
I have to.
Could
I
be.
have
It could be very well.
So,
See, I'm right behind you, Concept. I see you in a Spitty.
yeah, I am in a Spitty.
That's amazing.
If I got it
Oh.
off the ground, that would be even
Oh,
more
oh.
amazing. Oh, and
Ouch.
building.
Oh, building.
Building. No building, but no airport either. This thing is just driving me nuts. Okay, now building. Okay. How do I get out of here?
insert that.
No?
You don't know what I am looking for. I'm pretty sure I inserted that. But I could be wrong.
Oh, that Finanza is so easy to fly.
There it is.
Oh, shut up, Catbat. Catbat, did you see my message about the flight plans?
No,
You don't
not
read
sure.
your messages, do you? Have a look in your Discord at your personal messages.
Look
There's
what
one-
I got. Look what I got. I got some very pretty stuff.
Like?
Like little nav map in the flight
yes,
sim.
about the Africa flight plans. Yes, thank
Exactly.
you, Seb. Yes, I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
see that. Yeah.
You saw that, okay.
Got something pretty.
Oh, this is nice. It even sounds nice.
But is it true? Is it 30 euro just for the add-on?
Yes.
I find that a bit difficult, to spend 30 euro for an add-on that improves an already existing machine.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's. I understand you think that way because I would, like easily think that way too. Yeah, I just wanted this, so I got it.
I'll
But
probably wait. I might get the next one.
yeah, but for the Baron, you mean?
The Baron, yeah. Isn't the Baron the twin-engine one?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
The thing is, I don't have the Premium Deluxe, so I don't have the Baron.
Yeah.
I like single engines, and I must say I really like this plane. It's an updated one, yes, but it's almost nothing to see with the original.
Yeah.
So even inside, it looks completely different. The even the A pillar has been redone. Like it has some.
And the
getting on
noises are
course.
changed. Yeah.
So
Yep.
it feels like you're getting a totally new plane, actually.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I really do like twin-engine GA planes, and I might actually get the Baron.
Yeah, certainly do, because I think that's going to be a really good one. If I had it, the Premium Deluxe, I would get the Baron. I was sort of hoping that the Baron would be. You'd be able to get a standalone Baron, but I'm not sure you can.
Yeah.
So guys, I'm going on course.
I'm trying to.
Hey Phantom, welcome in. Yeah,
Yep,
they're talking about the Baron.
We're talking about that upgrade that's coming out with the instruments and so on, like they just did with the Bonanza.
Robbie, I totally got it. I got a totally new Spitfire and didn't have to pay anything extra for it. I missed that.
Yeah, but to be fair, very impressed with this thing. So if the Baron will certainly be anything like this. So yeah, well recommended. Like,
would it be possible, if you have bought one of the other versions, to, in hindsight, upgrade to the, the ultimate version of the sim?
how do you mean? Like, go to a Premium Deluxe now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do, but it's like 90 euros or something. So
you would have to buy it as if you bought a new one.
Yeah, I think it's technically the same price. I don't know if they give you a discount, but if there is any discount, it's not much.
There is no discount if you calculate it through.
Yeah, it's just you're paying full on.
Yes. So how fast can you go, Caddis Bettis?
So right now, let's see.
Laguna. I'll take the island in the middle. And be my neighbor.
I'm not going very quickly, I must admit. 167 over the ground at the minute.
67?
167.
167 over the ground.
Yeah. That's not very fast.
Do you need a tow?
And a push?
I got some rope here somewhere, so could tow you. Lol, he's not Murph. No, he's not. He's Caddis Bettis. So, what kind of music do we take tonight? This one is not possible. We don't want copyright strikes. I don't like the mountains here. What does Mexican folk music sounds like? I don't know. But I can have a look into it in Epidemic Sound, and if we fly over Mexico, then we can do some Mexican folk
It has to
music.
have a lot of ay 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 in it. Then
Arriba!
it's Mexican.
So get the sombreros. Let's take this one. Yep, sounds good. Bing. Don't want to leave you guys behind. Yeah, they did an amazing job with the New Zealand update.
Yeah. I have to start flying there now.
Yeah, I need to do my Lord of the Rings tour again.
Because now you can actually see many of the sites.
I don't know. Yeah, they filmed The Hobbit and the real Lord of the Rings there, and
Yeah, you can see Hobbits now in the sim.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we need to do this tour again, and then I have to save that tour. If I were a hobbit, I'd go by Rabbit. Robbie as a hobbit. Do you pimp your wagon wheel too? Some fancy paint or wood carving?
They don't use a lot of transport in Lord of the Rings, do they?
Not really.
Horses. Horses. is about
Horses,
it.
and
Yeah.
I think some carts are standing on the marketplace.
Yeah.
They were riding through Hobbiton.
Yeah. You can put some wood blocks on the rudder pedals, you know. It's the old trick.
So, you keeping up, guys?
Well,
Catching up?
I'm doing 295, so
Hello,
I should really.
Hey, Tess.
Hello.
Yeah, 211. That's better.
Kinda. Au, au. Bist du dumm?
That sounds like cat.
Yeah.
Cat attack.
Yeah, she stretched her paw and clawed into my cleavage. Was not nice, Mrs. Kitty.
That would be a wonderful title for a horror movie. Laws in the cleavage.
I'm sure somewhere there is this title.
I'm sure. Oh.
How are you, Test? Everything okay? When do you have time to bring your computer to service person? You have weekend? Is tomorrow the day where you can bring your computer to the service persons? Ooh, nice. When Test will have a computer we all envy.
Give me a year. I'm trying to make this one last for another year, and then there'll be a complete change.
Yeah, then will be new stuff out there.
I think I will use this one until it explodes.
Kabam!
Which could be any minute.
No, actually, it's working really well.
You should start getting worried when it starts making kicking noises.
Yeah.
Or maybe tries to leave your desk. Oh, hello, good evening. Hey, Deki, how is it going?
Hello, Deki.
Hey, Ducky.
Until it explodes? Well, with the flight sim, should it be possible?
It should be, yes. I'm sure there could be an update that makes all the computers start.
I think Windows will do it sooner or later.
Yeah, something like that.
How are you, Deki? How's it going? How's the pack?
Oh, I seem to have a radio altimeter, like
At the moment, yes. But, yeah. That
Yes,
can change any minute.
You have to be very careful with statements like that.
yeah, true.
When you were texting yesterday, Catpat, that you were listening to Irish radio, was that using the jump
Yes,
seat
it was.
up there?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun, isn't it?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, I should actually turn it on here as well.
Yes.
Sure, there must be something in the neighborhood, like
Yeah. You know,
some bachata.
I've collected. I've got a digital receiver as well, and I've collected almost 30 radio stations now from my flights. Just
Nice.
if they played nice music, I copied down the name, and then I could program it into my big receiver, and I have them there.
How?
Oh wow.
Deki, how? Is your community folder empty? This does not sound normal at all. Try it with a empty community folder.
I just caught a glimpse of Min's stream earlier this afternoon, and in her stream title it was server problems. So
Ouch.
That
yeah, not enough bandwidth. That's an old thing.
that's an old thing. The thing is, I don't think it's your bandwidth,
No.
but the one from Microsoft. I wanted to say micro Schrott. Ew. I saw on Tuesdays Graphitam did also have a lot of problem with the CTDN servers at his stream. So maybe it's the season.
Yeah.
Sure hope
must be.
not. But, the evidence.
And I'm sure it's got something to do with the upcoming update.
Also possible, yeah. Everything okay back there?
Yeah, listening to salsa.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
Oh, there's an airport coming up. What would you like us to do there? Maybe a landing so we can all get together?
Would be a good idea.
The
That
rubber
would be a
band
good-
with. Okay.
Until it snaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been acting up the bandwidth thing. It's definitely the servers.
And in situations where it's absolutely 100% certain, it has nothing to do
Exactly.
with your bandwidth.
And everybody has it, like Beamin
Yeah.
has it,
And
all the streamers have it.
People with really big connections with
Yeah, good systems like
glass
Gibbo,
fiber and
Nerf.
so on. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Up.
So,
I got a meow from the side.
meaning
Kitty needs attention. Mao.
Now,
if I don't get it, claws.
I don't get it. I rub my head against that one camera pole, which leads a nice special effect.
No,
yeah,
this is a really interesting patchwork scenery here.
No, it's not. It's not pretty.
No, it's just patches of what looks like real stuff, and then we are in southern England again.
Exactly. Added turbulence for immersion.
The turbulence. I read somewhere that the turbulence will be something that with the next update you can actually adjust how strong it will affect you, which I think is a very good idea.
Yeah, hopefully you can turn it off.
I can understand that they need it for the sailing planes, but certainly not for us.
That's why I meant hopefully you can turn it off.
So somewhere
Is
Up
it
ahead.
airport?
in this generic scenery, I think I see it, parallel to the street.
Oh, I'm enjoying this thing.
But what is that? You know, that fast little V3 plane. What is the official title? I couldn't tell, Kaharia.
What plane is that? The VL3?
Yeah. What is the actual title of that plane? It don't-
That one from God Friends.
Yeah, that really fast one.
Ah, the Vertigo.
Vertigo. Yes,
Ah,
Vertigo.
okay.
Yes, that's what I couldn't remember.
Mm.
I got that one.
That's a plane that could always fly along with the Spitties.
Ah, yeah, for sure. It's fast.
But it's just too easy to fly in a way.
Robbie, I hope not. That airport makes you sick. Yeah, VL3, the Sharky.
And this airport, I will certainly back taxi, because that's where all the buildings are. So if I take off away from the buildings, that should be a safe bet.
This, fear not, the Spitty will find a
You mean
building.
Away.
it will turn 360 degrees? to
It
get
will
back to the-
find a building.
Ah.
Yes, I know.
Yes, V3.
Sharky.
Historically not very good. Yeah. Well, it was interesting in the beginning when there were hardly any small planes that were really reasonably fast. But ever since the Spitty came out, I haven't really used it a lot.
Good old Spitty.
Yeah, horribly, let's hope so. But from what I remember, the landing was not really much worse than in the previous versions.
The landing were worse. She is
Uh,
faster
yes,
and
she lo-
losing speed. If
She
you
lost speed quicker, yes, that's
if
true.
you
Yes.
if you drop the bound arms too early, she'll
Yep.
stall.
Yeah, that's true. So be careful with that.
That's why
Yep.
I reverted. Main reason. Couldn't land her
Yep.
anymore.
Don't drop the barn door until you're almost on the runway.
You got flow 2 now? Nice. Lima Kilo Mike has on Flight Sim 2 a mod for flow to insert little nav map in the flight simulator.
But I must say, I don't see the point, because it's not a big difference to what I'm doing already. I have it running alongside the flight simulator, and when I need it, I click on the taskbar and it's there. So,
Yeah,
no need.
but it's for me an additional help.
Oh.
And for people to see.
Now, Robbie, let's see. Okay. He might have been a little fast. But I took almost the whole runway myself. Yep, thank you, right.
Yeah, you did a nose stand.
But as I say, Robbie, just click on the propeller from the inside view and it'll be fixed.
Do I sense a yoga? Yes, you did.
Huh?
A greetings to the sun. There's a caddis, Bettis.
Oh, I see your nameplates, but I don't see any runway.
Where's that? Right next. It's actually the way that you're flying. You're approaching it at right angles almost.
Ah, yeah, okay, I see it now, I think.
It runs parallel to the street.
Cool, yeah. Got it. Gotcha.
Fingers crossed, Deki. Comes the cat bat.
Incoming!
Whee! A Funanza.
It's funny, with the Bonanza always showing when somebody actually does fly one. um,
Kom, leg dich hin, Süße. Leg dich hin. Kom. Ready.
yes, Robbie, makes you want to be a cow, doesn't it? All that
Nom,
grass.
nom, nom.
Ah, she's proper fun.
Yeah, the catbird is flying that Bonanza
Bonanza
add-on.
thingy. I've been trying to cut down my grass intake lately.
Well, tell that to your Spitty.
Ooh, you're in the blue
Connection lost.
flames. In the blue flames. With me, Catbat.
Oh, I'm definitely not. But yeah, the sim looks for a replacement.
And ever since you came in, you've actually changed livery twice for me.
Nice.
First you had a white and red one, and now you have a green one.
Oh, I see.
Sort of British racing green.
Deki, are you on speakers or are you on headset?
I'm actually in a green and white livery.
Damn it. So when I walk by a steakhouse and smell steaks, what is running in my mouth? Do vegetarians have the same walking past a field with fresh cut grass? Well.
That is an interesting question.
So,
we're all together.
all together now?
Should we wait for Daykit to wait to load in? Or
I don't know.
depends how long it will take.
Exactly.
How long is your blue line, Nike?
On the
Wait,
map?
I'm gonna...
Nice.
On the map, yeah, so we wait for him. That won't be long. Hopefully. I mean, that's actually one of the places where if the sim crashes, it crashes a lot for me. It's when I'm loading from the map, loading into a flight.
Yeah, to me it doesn't crash, but it hangs. If something's wrong, it will hang
It
there.
just stops loading, and
Yeah,
eventually I have to use the taskbar to shut it down and restart again.
yeah.
And
North-
it usually counts it as a
Europe.
crash. It starts up with this window, you know, in which mode.
Yeah, as if you
like-
crashed, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so different, this Bonanza, that it has even like the seats are different. You can raise the armrest in between.
Uh-huh.
So pretty detailed. Also the instrument that lets you lean the mixture, that's like a computer in itself. It's crazy.
Okay.
And then you have the weather radar.
Thank you,
Usual stuff.
Test. Good night.
Good night.
Have fun. So,
I think they said it had like something like 50 different failures or so. I don't know. Crazy. Yeah.
I think I have a
much
Daiki in
things
front
to
of
break.
me. There is a Daiki in front of me.
There's a dike in front of you. Nice.
Nice. Let's
do it.
let's do this.
So, Kitty, would you please sit down or go over? Husband. Wait. Kitty is annoying. So, let's start. Whee!
Does it stay on the runway?
Nope.
No.
Why
A
should
Spitty
it?
does not need a runway.
Why should it?
It was born on the fields.
Spitty is allergic to runways.
It seems.
We can have 50 different failures without needing the Bonanza.
Yeah.
And-
There's a
and-
true
and-
story behind, huh?
Yes, definitely.
Whee! I'll do a circle. Make sure everybody's up.
Ooh, that was nice.
So, 4 degrees. got this now, piece of cake. Nice. Sugar-free. Piece of cake, sugar-free. My brain can't comprehend that.
Cake without sugar? Is that
Yes.
even possible?
Maybe
is
with
possible, but-
stevia, but does it
Is it
sound?
enjoyable?
It's
That's
called
the
bread.
issue.
Yeah, brilliant. It is kind of, yeah.
That is true.
Was machst du da schon wieder? Katze. Ist doch in Frieden. She's a naughty girl tonight.
She's a bit restless.
Her human had the audacity to work the whole day in front of the sewing machine and would not play with the kitty because human was
Oh.
busy.
No, of course that is not on.
That's a audacity.
That is not
the
in the
human.
contract.
Yes. Not allowed in the cat world, yeah. Not allowed. Since her human wants to finish that project soon, the human needs to spend time at the project. She does not want to acknowledge that. So we're following
Because
that.
the scenery is not getting any better down there.
Yeah, I see that.
I was just wondering, has the sim switched off all my Bing maps, or is
No,
it just
it is
the
that
way it
bad.
is here?
It is
No,
that bad.
Wow.
It's just bad.
No, we're not on live weather. Or at least I'm not on
it's
live
cat
weather.
bad. I see.
Yeah, kinda.
But we are following that river now.
Yes. I hope the mountains will look better than that what we have here.
What is that river called? Come on, river.
Rio Esmeraldas.
Okay. And we're basically following it until it
To the
goes into
sea,
the
and there is an airport
Yep.
at the seaside. Directly. Rawr. I hope you got your speedos and your beach towels. Gato is called cat, but the other thing,
Murcielago is bad.
Oh yeah, okay.
Cat bad.
Cat bad with a D. Okay.
Cat bad. Yeah, that's how the scenery is today.
Okay. Take it as long as it stays under the table, no problem. We've been in some areas where the scenery was really good, but at the moment, it's really disappointing.
Yep. But we had worse.
Yeah.
To be honest, we had worse. Much worse.
I don't think I did, so I'm gonna see if my Bing Maps got switched off. Because after all, I did get that message.
Again?
Yeah. Then it did.
Yeah, before I got that, so it probably did. Yeah, it did turn it off. Yeah.
Okay.
But you didn't miss much.
No,
It's
apparently
not
not.
better.
But
There's some nice, some nice tiles of scenery, and then there's.
Yeah. This is what I don't understand. So that they must have some imagery, but only very limited.
yeah, there's almost no difference.
So much rain
amazing.
cloud buildup here. So, Deki means they could not take a nice picture of here.
Yeah, because of the constant thunderstorms in this area. So that's
Yeah.
very likely. Yeah.
Oh, not many grades to fly GA here. Maybe the satellite is on strike or on siesta.
Could be. 'Cause
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
you
I-
were flying live weather. Right. Stuck for 9 days.
9 days. Wow. Yeah.
I can see the sea now.
Just rain. Yay. Then tuck it in.
And you were thinking, oh, this thing is really not so fast anymore. Yeah, I know that.
Yay! No. No, we're not zapping.
No. I think I'm the only one zapping at the moment. And even I am zapping at moderate 230.
I was at 240.
Uh-huh. But it's true, I don't think I see Daiki on my VFR map.
Daiki is over there.
I can only see 3 planes, including mine.
Daiki is to your right.
Okay.
Rio Esmeralda.
Yes. Zap speed 3 out of 5.
There's Santoro also coming up.
Yeah, I see the runway.
Yeah, Robbie, that's the question. I was sort of thinking to do a long flight in it, yes. So yeah, not sure if I wanted to stream it on Twitch though, but we'll see. Maybe we could also do it on Discord.
Quite a large city.
Doesn't look that large. It's a middle one.
Yeah.
It's not a small village, not a big city either. Something between. Esmeraldas.
What a runway.
A big one, huh?
Mhm.
Oh, mountains looked on the map bigger. Yes. Get the group back together.
Wow, I'm on live weather as well, and I have good visibility. So typical of the sim as well.
Is your cockpit glass clean, Daki?
Yeah, I can imagine. Hopefully, I mean, that would make sense, right? If I get there and it's bad.
Hey, Super Typhon, thanks for the lurk.
Hello there.
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Yeah, like Murph stream. Hello there.
Every time when I hear this, hello there, I have to think about what's said next, and that's General Kenobi.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. There you see a Star Wars nerd from normal people.
Yeah. Oh, someone's landed already.
Boss.
I followed Daki on the way in. Flippage uppage. There comes a Robbie. Whee! So you flew through soup. Nights up, there's a building. in the middle of the runway.
No.
Not in,
No.
but
No.
on the middle position beside the runway.
Don't tell my Spitty.
Hey, Nightseps Spitty, there is a building in your direction.
Da 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 da.
Nicely done, Robbie. Whee! Come on, Microsoft. Get your stuff together.
There's a low flying catbird on the horizon.
Yeah.
Caddis, Caddis.
Okay, I'll be back in a minute.
That's a shoot dig. Okay. Yay! Yeah, I imagine this is annoying. Comes the caddis. Whee!
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. Now we follow up with the coast,
Uh-huh.
and then we turn inland again. Well, with that forced to quit, I don't know since when it is, but it's here all the time. I have it all the time when I close the simulator that I have it closed, but it's also in the task manager and it's still running. I have to kill it in the task manager. I have that one all the time. So, here we go again. I have to kill it with the task manager. And if you have Logitech flight gear, you have to make sure that that Logitech access is close to, or your gear won't reset itself. Nobody caught that building.
No. Only a few trees.
Boring. How did you get a shotgun? How? Where's your supplier? Well,
That's a long story.
you know the sky, okay?
That's how these stories always start. It's a bit of a funny coastline here.
Yeah. That region needs some love.
Oh, there's a Yorkshireman on the horizon.
What?
Sowerby. That's the Yorkshire guy. Must be.
Okay.
A small town called Sowerby Bridge.
Welcome back. Don't try to raise that building. There's actually scenery. Very whitish scenery.
It's funny. It's not normal colors.
I think that white stuff are the clouds.
Yeah, could well be.
You're sufficient in the A310 now? Cute plane. Well, I haven't flown her, to be honest. I can't tell you. I stick with my 7.3 till I can start her up in no time and blind. So that will take a while. It's retro-ish, okay? Nice. Your 737 is broken. Well, then fix it. There are maintenance hangars for Boeings. What do you mean you can't get it to work? What does it not do? What's the problem? Insta CTDs. Ew. That's a yuck. I thought you had that sweet little bug what I had when I first installed her. That's why I was asking. Whee! There's a zooming night sap.
Yeah, I just wanted to have a look at that place on the coast there.
Rio Verde, Palestina. Roccafuerte.
Lots of small places.
Mm.
Another one here.
Las Peñas is coming up. I second this past the Tabasco sauce. Okay. And so took the E310 out for a spin and could not get her to catch an ILS. Okay. Funny. Well, I don't have any idea of an Airbus, so I'm sorry. Ooh. Well, that's a good thing, I would say. That's a good thing, Deki. I know my first steps with the TBM. Oh boy. That was a hate-love relationship. Why?
Voila, bébé, voila.
Means?
Fly, baby, fly.
But it's like riding a bike, Deki. Fly, baby, fly. Viva! That's Las Penas.
Isn't this funny that there's a river parallel to the beach?
Yeah. Kinda. I know what you mean, totally. Just have flown her once since the update and the avionics. And the whole G3000 looks a bit different now. So I was... How did I do that last time? Oh, yeah, I know that. Looks like there's... How could you say that? Wetlands.
Yeah, but I don't
Kinda.
believe that there is absolutely no beach here. I do not think that is realistic. I think this is generic rubbish.
Yeah, I think so too.
Very likely is, yeah. This would be beautiful in real life.
Doing the Google hack like again.
Sometimes life's a beach.
Yes.
Brilliant.
We missed that, didn't we, guys?
Yeah.
Arriba.
Yes, here, this looks very much like swamp, wetland. So
So we're in
if you look at the map, there's so many little canals and rivers. This would be a good place for this free one, you know, the Got Friends skimmer.
Yes.
That would be fun in this area.
The flying jet ski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of beach. In real life. There's a lot of beach in real life.
Very small beaches, yeah. I think where I'm flying now, that looks more realistic. But at least a little white strip, I think, always will be there.
Well, there's not always
There must be.
lights up because
There must be tides.
there's
there
some
must
swamp like Dike says. Yeah, there's some swamplands in this area as well. I don't know if here or more to the north, but in there it's like green and then it stops in the water.
Yeah.
It literally goes in.
But even the swamp, also
I can't
the
understand
outside into the sea at least has a meter of
yeah.
sandy stuff.
I mean, like the
It
sea,
looks like on the map.
there's high tide, there's low tide. So that alone creates a strip of beach.
Hmm.
Even it's a minimum one.
Could be.
Inland,
I've seen it where it looks like trees are standing in the water, literally.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that also depends. Maybe it was high tide. So
Or maybe it's global warming.
global warning, yes. That's why we have snow in Ibiza lately.
Yeah.
No, but it's very
How
warm
did
here
that
now.
end?
It's 21 degrees today, so yeah. The snow's gone.
Airlock wrote something about having 18 degrees. Was it yesterday or was it today?
18.
18 degrees in Switzerland.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. We had 8.
Okay, at least you have 8.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's true. They are
If you-
predicting on our radio, I heard this afternoon, in a few days there'll be about 20 here.
Well, I have friends in the northern part of Germany. Up there in the north of Germany, they had snow.
Yeah.
And that guy was not happy about it. It's a truck driver.
Sure.
He was really not happy. That's a nice beachy beach. But I forgot my suntan oil. Come on. So no stopping there. Sniff.
So, we're going inland again.
Yeah, we follow that river, and that river is also the border between Ecuador and Colombia. So we will bounce along the country border. I think ATC will hate us.
They will
Would
say,
be like-
bienvenidos a Colombia.
Which ATC?
Both. We won't
Yes.
do it all tonight. But I had to plan a
don't-
bit further.
I don't think that there is a Colombian Chihuahua. Somehow, I don't think that goes together.
Chihuahua.
Yes, Robbie, but you know, you didn't get the beginning of the story. Did you see that flight plan with all these thousands of waypoints? Now, Kaharia told me when she had finished it,
I wanted to
little nav map
save it.
crashed. So she had to do it twice.
Yeah. It depends. No, I did not. I wanted to chew on my keyboard. I had the flight plan up till Panama.
That is horrible. Yes.
It's me worthy. Was angrily chewing lunch afterwards.
I hope it was a food which needed some chewing.
Was sausages and bread,
That's okay then.
ketchup, and 2 raw carrots. So I
that's
had something
worth
to
it.
chew.
It's worthy of chewing at least, yeah.
Yes. No, I wasn't feeling for cooking today because I did not have the time. The Colombians do have a Chihuahua that is a drug sniffing dog. Okay.
And before I'm
I
accused
don't see any funky spikes.
of zapping again,
Nope.
I'm flying at 220. I don't know why everybody is just not near me.
Well, Catbat needs to get out of his finance and push.
And somebody is taking a shortcut from what I can see on the VFR map.
Yes. I see that too.
Who is taking a shortcut so I can follow?
That could well be Robbie.
Oh, nice.
That's my guess.
But
Because he was
actually, we flying and stop raining. Yeah. Take out the doggies. Hug the pack from me. Thanks
Yeah,
for stopping
huggies.
by, Deki.
bye.
Thanks, Ducky.
That's a long straight. The funny waypoints coming ahead. But if they are not high, also if the hills are not high, we can fly straight towards the airport. Don't have to do that zigzagging. There
Suddenly
is no elevation.
the water is up on the hill again.
Ooh. Don't forget to drink.
Good idea.
Join FS. Are you on John FS? Cause I'm not.
No.
Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Welcome to the catback. Pual. Welcome in. How are you? How's your evening, day, afternoon, morning? So do we have elevation there? Ooh, awesome.
And what did you fly in?
Tell us.
Discovery flight?
How did you feel? Ooh, a Piper Cherokee. Nice.
Nice plane.
How was the feeling? Did you get motion sick? Because I did totally. That's cool. That's very cool. Perfect day to fly in South Florida. Oh. Now I'm envying you. Oh, weather was not good, not bad around here, so we had much clouds. So, not even a good day. So, I don't think we need to do that zigzagging. The mountains are
And the
not high enough yet.
River is all over the place.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's up on the mountains.
Microsoft.
It's a Microsoft River. Yeah.
Do you flight sim too? Are you a flight simmer too, Paul? Because if yeah, you want to join in, we're in the North Europe server. And we are soon coming up to Sierra Echo Tango uniform. Anything around 250-300 knots would be a good choice.
Okay.
And no worries. You feel free to join in whenever you like. So... The more people fly, the more fun it does. In the air.
Do we have snow over there?
No, I think that's the clouds. When they took the photogrammetry from here. think that's just the clouds in the satellite picture. I don't think it's snow.
It looks like it though.
But that would be very patch-wise.
Yes.
So I think that's just the pretty pictures of Bing. Bing, ba, bing, bing, bing. So that's the border river between Ecuador and Colombia. Overtaking you. Ooh.
The undertaking. That's even worse.
Your shortcut now. Catbat, maybe you want to fly directly to Sierra Echo Tango uniform?
Yeah, maybe.
Because that's our next airport.
Say again, Sierra Tango Echo Uniform?
Sierra Echo Tango uniform. Say two. I hope the mountains getting prettier. This is very generic.
Yep. Not impressed.
Not the slightest. It ain't no New Zealand.
Nope.
No.
That's for sure.
One day we will all fly over New Zealand too. But it will take quite a while.
Yeah. In 2 years or so.
No, not 2 years. We were pretty fast actually with our journey till now.
Oh, we've almost finished South America.
That's the last country of South America
Huh?
for our tour.
Crazy.
And then we go over to Panama, Central America. Then Mexico, again through the States.
And then it's getting cold.
Then it's getting cold, then we do some more island hopping. And we're somewhere in Russia, down the Middle East.
Well, finally, the scenery looks a little bit better.
Yeah, getting quite decent again. What did I forget? What did I forget? Can you tell me?
Landing gear?
Nope.
Laps?
Nope. Spitty was hungry.
Oh!
I need to refuel.
Well,
Nobody saw that.
you have to do mid-air refueling.
I did. Yes. Nobody saw that. Nobody. You did not see anything. That aren't the droids you're looking for.
You can always say you have the new Echo version of the Spitty. You can generate fuel from just flying.
These aren't the droids you're looking for. Move along. Move along. Yes, yeah. Seems just yesterday we were sucking on icicles in Iceland. Yeah. Boy, that was a huge stutter. But the scenery is getting nice.
Apart
Least
from
for the
the
moment.
actual river. The river is going everywhere, but not in the riverbed.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are in Colombia.
Okay.
We changed the rivers. Have to Google or look into it if we are coming by the Skywalker Ranch.
Where is that?
Somewhere in America
Oh, yeah.
and somewhere in the States. But I don't know where it was.
Ah.
Hmm?
Southern England again. Lots of it.
Didn't know Southern English was this mountainous.
No, after the mountain.
Ah.
It could be real, but somehow I doubt it.
Sheilas is called a village down there. There's a night sap. Whee! Rainbow alert on live weather. Nice. Make a screenshot. I do not change on live weather today. Since my sim took 2 deep breaths.
Oh, there's a town here. Near that airport.
Yep. There are some volcanoes. Over there. Little nav map says that are 2 volcanoes. We haven't had volcanoes for a long time.
Is this your special airport?
No,
No.
no.
Because I'm flying over a town. Ah, there it is.
The special airport is this Kaharia special.
Yes.
That
Good
could
grief.
be
What?
a good airport for Murph's dangerous landings.
This is a huge runway.
You complaining about a huge runway?
I'm not complaining at all. Just saying. And they're advertising a bridge over there. And the points of interest.
Okay, let's fly through it.
Rumi Chaka Bridge. Which is supposed to be 2.5 miles away. We can check that out when we're
Okay.
taking off from here. Let me see that. Doesn't really show on little nav map. Oh yes, it's the International Bridge of Rumi Chaka.
Chaka, du schaffst das.
Chaka Chaka. And it's called International because it's right on the border.
Can't see nada. Pouring rain now. Well, that's a reason why I don't go on live weather. Because I want to see where I land on stream. Enough oopsies off stream. That felt much more smooth than 161 feet per minute.
Okay, and this town is called Tulkan. And just across the border is another airport. It's a bigger one.
Why did you do that? Nothing to see here.
Just because I can, would the Spitty say.
Forgot my fuel pump.
Hang on. What did they put here? They put a shopping mall here. I want to see this. I want to see this.
Put the shopping mall here. Yes, your
No,
Spitty
it's not a
likes.
shopping mall.
Yes,
It's garages.
your Spitty likes buildings.
Yeah, it's garages. It looked like shops, but it's actually garage doors.
Robbie is incoming. I also see a Caddis Spaddis.
Yeah, Scud running here. Oh, there's the runway. Nice.
Pretty long.
What should I do, guys? fuel.
It's raining upside down.
Well, it's raining upside down now. Are you on your back? Spitty tired? Spitty sleeping?
I have this feeling that Robbie has actually visited the squirrels. He's suspiciously not mobile.
You mean? You was at the squirrels for afternoon tea?
Now my guess is that Speedy lost speed much faster than he's used to. And it just
I think he
stalled.
is for tea with the squirrels.
It stalled.
Not
You moved in.
visiting. You moved in with the squirrels,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
That's why Skippy is hiding.
Yeah, I can see that F4. I know it too well.
Me too. Because you're
But
losing.
is my guess correct, Robbie? That you got caught out by the quick loss of speed? Because that is one of the things with that
New
update.
features.
Yeah.
It's not a bug, it's a feature. There's a Robbie! Whee! This? I think this will work out. A featured bug. I'm not sure. Yeah, stalled.
You thought, yeah.
Was a big problem for me too. Yeah, she will bite you on the butt when you aren't paying attention. So, after you.
Taking off into a thunderstorm seems like.
Nice. Keeps
Yeah,
life
very
interesting.
Oh yeah, I don't see anything.
Yeah, I thought so. Yes. Would have been too nice.
You will love this bonanza, by the way,
Yeah, sure.
because it stays right on the center line,
And
even with this
look
crosswind
the way
rain.
she's standing now. The propeller inside a veranda. How am I supposed to get out of this?
Well,
Well, you know, it's
Flew.
Oh, it's
the
actually.
Y key and F4.
Would you believe it's a restaurant?
Spitty was hungry.
It's a restaurant called Mabuena.
Muy
So,
buena.
so your Spitty needed food.
Honestly.
Lol, Catbird Bonanza sales representative. What do you get paid by the hour, Catbird?
Oh, I wish. 'Cause it's, I mean,
No, no,
Yes.
almost. There's another house.
Your Spitty is in love with houses. Whee!
she's expensive, Nightsep. She wants you to buy a house and then another house and
She
another
want-
house.
She wants to tell me I want to settle here. I
Yeah.
don't want to leave here.
Exactly.
That's why, so far, every takeoff has been futile. I'm not even on the airport anymore.
Oh,
She's a,
It doesn't matter.
she is an expensive girl.
But you see, once you leave the airport, she takes off. She just
Well,
doesn't like airports. Now let's have a look. Kaharia, where you are, there should be that bridge. I'm heading straight for it.
there's no
I have
bridge.
no idea if that's anything worth looking at, but
There is no bridge.
I mean, there's even a marker here. Yeah, you're right. There is a very small bridge,
Cute.
but it's nothing that anyone could fly under.
I misread that village. It's called.
what's the next waypoint, by the way?
You mean airport or waypoint?
Yes, yes, as in airport.
Sierra Kilo Papa Sierra.
Oh, that sounds like Pasto to me.
And sorry.
Yeah.
Antonio Marino, is that in Pasto? Because it says Papa Sierra.
I don't get you.
I know what you mean, but negative. El Tambo is. It's above Pasto. Yeah.
Is that the town?
Yes.
Did you visit
Oh,
there?
we have a canyon coming up.
Yay.
No, I didn't visit there. I visited more north of there, like the Valle del Cauca, which has Cali and well, yeah, Cali is the biggest city in the area.
Nice.
I only know all these names in connection with gangs, drug dealing.
Exactly, as Pablo Escobar.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so maybe you know a town called Tuluá then. Maybe not, because it's not that big. Tuluá and Buga. Buga maybe sounds more familiar to you.
Not for me. The terrain gets pretty again. At least for a bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I shall turn off the live weather, guys, because I'm flying in a gray soup.
Pea soup?
Yes, exactly. Pea soup.
No. No, we don't.
Yeah, it's absolutely zero visibility. I just see Kaharia nameplate and a concept nameplate, and now I'm actually, oh yeah, I'm getting over the clouds now, but yeah, no landscape if I don't turn this off.
See a catus spatus in the distance.
Yay, we have landscape again.
Whee!
Oh wow.
Where comes my... Oh, that's way back. Sierra Kilo, Sierra Golf is way back. What would they do in South America without trumpets? I don't know, Robbie.
Without what?
Trumpets.
Trumpets. Oh yeah, they wouldn't have their nice music.
Ah, you mean the vuvuzela?
The
Listen.
music soundtrack, what I had in the background was with
Ah.
trumpets.
Okay.
Ole.
Arriba.
The music's lively here.
Guitarilla.
Speaking of those trumpets, I'm listening to them now.
The last radio station I picked from the media player was a station in Dar es Salaam.
Okay.
Oh,
Because at the moment I'm in my trip. I've actually landed on Zanzibar.
Okay.
mm,
And before you cross over to the island, you fly over Dar es Salaam.
Okay.
So I'm about halfway up concerning the whole continent of Africa.
oh wow.
Half.
Nice.
I do play, you will find that in my flight plan that I usually have relatively short flights because very often, if anything over 2 hours is too long.
Okay.
So if you want to make it longer, you simply have to do two flight plans, one after the other. And the other thing is I constantly change planes. So if I do fly a faster plane, obviously it'll be a longer flight. So it's very irregular.
So what are you flying again?
Well, at the moment I use the Caribou quite a bit,
Okay.
which of course is not super fast. So you can't cover huge distances. But I want to see stuff. So I don't want to take anything that sort of flies too high and too fast.
Yeah. Know what you mean. Yeah.
And since I got the autopilot working in the Caribou, that's quite okay for these long flights.
Ah, you figured out how it works there?
Well, there's an add-on,
Ah, okay.
and if you have that add-on, it doesn't change anything in the plane. Nothing you can see, but your controls, if you have external controls for the autopilot, they will work.
Right.
Or if you use flow with the autopilot, it will also work.
Okay.
Speaking of planes, or other planes than the Spitty, the BF-108 is quite fun.
Uh-huh.
Quite fun.
It
I just need to learn how to trim her correctly.
Yeah. Did you realize that there was an update end of February? So the current version is 101.
Yes.
Well, I have the 108 since a week
Yeah, you
now?
got it before the update. You got it before the update.
Okay.
So you might check if you need it.
Yeah. Will do.
Because for some reason I didn't get any message. I just went into the INI builds manager and saw that there was an update.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
I tried to create a livery for that one.
Uh-huh.
Oh, hell no.
I think liveries are really tricky business. I
The thing
admire
is not-
Robbie for being able to do it.
The thing is not the livery being tricky to create. The tricky stuff is that the stupid flight sim will acknowledge them.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, better that plane of any bills. Took me the whole Sunday. Without that, the livery would show up in the flight simulator. Then I got myself some chocolate and went into the Son of the Forest game. Was frustrated.
You know what? I started again. I did that God knows how many years ago, but there's a newer version of it, but it plays exactly like the old one. It's RuneScape.
Oh boy.
Yeah. RuneScape is just the right thing for me. No blood, no gore. Lots of really stupid little tasks. Go fishing for shrimp, make a fire,
Nice.
fry the shrimp, eat the shrimp. That's my kind
Survive.
of game. Yep.
Well, Sons of the Forest, I like that game pretty much, but I played on peaceful. I don't like those monsters scaring me.
Yep.
And it's quite the same. You have to solve the riddle what happened to the millionaires, and you have to survive in that kind of setting. So you have a full circle of the year. So you switch from spring to summer to autumn to winter, and in that case you will freeze. You will find no food if you did not get your stock
Yeah.
of food up front. So you can die from dehydration, you can, the lack of sleep, and so on and so on. And you have to build your own house. If you have to chop the wood down first, that you can build your house. I like that kind of game.
By the way, I seem to be the only one flying along this canyon. I can only recommend it. It's nice.
I'm not wor- What? Almost hit the swirl.
And I can
You're over
see the
there,
airport
that's why.
now.
Yeah, I can't see it right now, but yeah. I just saw that I lost pretty much speed.
Oh, is this the one? The airport that you're
No,
talking about?
no,
That's
no.
nice. I like the way it's high up on the mesa.
That one was Sierra Kilo Golf Sierra.
Uh-huh.
Was it? Scroll, scroll, scroll. I saw it was pretty far down in the Sierra Kilo Sierra Golf. That's the one.
It also has a very long runway.
I was nice to you, sorry.
Yeah. As I said before, I'm not complaining.
Wow, what an amazing airport.
Yeah. Up on the hill.
Yes.
And right next to it is a real nice canyon to fly along it.
Yes.
So I had to get out of the canyon because I thought there's never going to be an airport down here in the canyon.
Yeah, this reminds me of Telluride in the United States.
Yeah. But I think it's a wider plateau up here. Telluride is a bit
Yes,
narrower.
it's different, but it's sorta reminds me.
It's pretty here. I tried Kingdom Come Deliverance, was fun. Felt kinda Skyrim without magic. Yeah, there are lots of those.
Yeah, that you can actually get that quite cheap now. Keeps coming on special offer in Steam for
The
I think
thing
below even less than €10 or something like that.
is a Robbie. The thing is, I have one game I'm sitting hours and hours. I don't need a second one. So, no,
Yeah,
thank
same
you.
here.
Yes, but I'm trying to find another one which will sort of keep me busy for hours and hours. At the moment, whatever I've started, I didn't really get too excited about.
Try Sons of a Forest on Peaceful.
Maybe when it's cheap.
Yeah, it will keep you hours and hours. Because an hour is nothing in that game.
Yeah.
Why do I get a toothache now?
Well, I parked on the helipad. I think that's a good place for the speeding.
Found it. Wheelies out. There's a Robbie. So can we butter that landing? 99.
That's good.
It's getting better. There we are. There's a velocity. What does this copter do there? Don't forget to hydrate, guys.
The chunky peanut butter landing. Yeah, I think
Hydrate.
that's my style too.
Hydrating's a great idea. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Okay.
Time for a Colombian cigar. Well, smoke it when you have time. Is this a salt circle for exorcism?
The helipad, definitely. Yes, I'm protected against all demons in there. But if I ever step out of it,
Spitty will search for the next building. Rawr. Looks like a salt circle. I don't think we will get to that one airport.
well, I mean, then we'll do that on Saturday.
Yeah.
No problem.
Thank you, Robbie, for joining in. See you
Okay.
maybe on Saturday.
Nice to have you.
Yay! Thanks for flying along, buddy. And being here. So, waiting on the cat bounce. Well, the cat is better rolling.
Yeah, I'm rolling.
So, okay, but for you, the next airport is Sierra Kilo Papa India. And I think we call it at night at Sierra Kilo Golf Zulu.
So, Papa India.
Sierra Kilo Golf Zulu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. And before we have.
Sierra Kilo Papa India.
Oh yeah. Pitalito.
Whatever. Gesundheit.
And then the one that we should stop is La Jaguar without an R.
Arr.
Oh, just the Jaguar. Okay.
Phew.
Now, my dear Spitty.
Mrs. Kitty hit with mustard gas.
Incoming!
Yes, very much so.
So nice to be on the sender line like this.
Catbad, you're mean.
But have a look at that canyon right next to the airport here.
It's pretty.
Quite amazing.
I dive down into it. Either my passengers or my pilot need a sick bag.
Oh, that's amazing, that valley, yeah.
Used to. Okay. Roller coaster, also wooden roller coaster. The old ones. I was just once on such a ride. It was fun, but my bones hurt. It was very bumpy, that ride. Now, it was a very old wooden roller coaster, so it was a bumpy ride.
There is a amusement park not far away from Stuttgart where they have a huge wooden roller coaster.
How is that called?
The park is called Trips Drill.
No, wasn't that. I think we were at Movie Park. Or Center Park? No, Movie Park.
But that is a relatively modern one. Not an old one.
It felt like an old one.
Mhm.
Or at least older what I'm used to.
Well, it's been many, many years since I last rode a roller coaster. Probably ever since I left school I haven't done it.
One of my favorite roller coasters is the Wildschütz from the Bayern Park.
Okay, I don't know that.
It's one with loopings and you're securely strapped into your seat.
Ah, yeah, okay.
So, and it's fast and yeah, zero gravity passages. quite awesome. But
I
if
did
you
visit. Yes.
but
Sorry.
if you ride it twice on the same day or in a very short period, you start to walk like a drunk.
Okay.
You cannot help it. You wanted to say something?
Yeah. You know, as a teacher, when you accompany groups of kids, I sometimes simply had to go to these places, but I always try to avoid the roller coasters. I went to what's the name of that park near Cologne? Phantasialand or something like that?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
And
Sounds
there
good.
is there is one which is not that far away from Ravensburg in the south.
Okay.
That had quite a few nice rides. My favorite ride is the bumper cars. I could do that all day.
Auto scooter.
Yeah.
Who would win? Have you ever been to Bayern Park?
No. Where is that?
In the surrounding of Munich,
No, I don't think so.
in Reisbach.
No. Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. That's like Phantasialand, but yeah, for all ages. They have very nice rides for even smallest, and also some roller coasters.
Because the big thing for the people here in my area, but I've never been, is the holiday park, the big one.
Okay.
That's near Freiburg.
Okay. I haven't been there either.
That's so big. It's got its own motorway exit. And it's a huge place.
Yeah. I think we drove by that thing when we were driving up to Fehmarn.
If you go up the Rhine Valley from the very beginning, from near Basel, then you pass it. Yeah. Between Freiburg and Offenburg.
I know we passed one of those big parks when we were driving to Fehmarn. I just don't know which anymore.
Now that is definitely snow up ahead. It doesn't make any sense, but no.
No. That does not make any sense. On the nav map there are no white peaks.
It's for the sim. It's not snow, because the trees are not covered in snow. So
I think they're clouds.
yeah, it's one of these cloud things again, but it really does look like everything
patchy
is
snow.
covered in snow. Yeah.
Looks like patchy snow.
Now this time I was definitely zipping. Going over 300.
Zip.
And that is zipping.
I'm sorry. I know you heard that. Other people saw that.
that is true. At least I didn't see it.
It was a long day.
Yeah. Especially with this nav map.
I won't count that, Jan. Thank you, Phantom. That little... that little nav map. Oops. Well, shoot happens. It's 11:30 p.m. So soon time to go to bed. The weekend is workage.
Oh, bad.
It has to be. One of our co-workers is called in sick again. But the thing is, he didn't seem sick.
You mean
The day before.
it might be what we call tactical sickness.
I don't know, but he didn't seem sick. And if I can't breathe good enough, I would not smoke, wouldn't I?
No.
Well,
Think so. But then again, I've heard of people with lung cancer smoking.
yeah, I had those too. Well, I have to be up at 5 a.m. Phantom.
I admire that with Kaharia. I mean, I had a job where I had to get up about just after 5 every morning, and I could never have done a stream until past midnight the evening before. I would have been dead.
Well, my husband has it worse. And he has to get up at 3:30 in the morning for his regular morning shift. That's an ungodly hour.
That is, yeah. And when does that shift finish?
At 2 p.m. Package! Wavage! Hey, Infidel Fireman, how's it going?
Hello there?
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Oh, we're coming up to another set of white mountains.
How are you, Infidel Fireman? Getting pretty tired. But yeah, it's soon time to sign off. Since tomorrow is work. And yeah. If it continues like the Wednesday, then Friday will be fun. Yeah, I was just running around between my floor and the ground floor with the main cache task. Since the colleagues were one person less, was this one colleague called in sick? Yeah, I had to run. Being on 2 floors at the same time. Yay!
Easy.
I can't clone myself. That's good for humanity. Very good.
An army of Kaharias.
You don't want that. No. Because I would clone my evil twin. And she would be honest with you. Even if you don't want to hear it.
In other words, when you're nice to me, you're not being honest. Is that what you're saying?
No. I would tell my customers what I would think of.
Okay.
For example. No. Even I would not want to handle me on a morning. Well, Phantom, there's a reason why I love this t-shirt. Because it is my morning mood.
What does it say? Coffee?
Yeah.
Just coffee.
No.
Yeah. I can.
There's a kitty. There's a kitty with
small...
There's a kitty with a coffee mug. Above is coffee.
Okay.
The kitty with the coffee mug, and underneath, because murder is illegal.
Okay.
I love that shirt. And it's true. You don't want to talk with me when I haven't had any coffee. I need my morning ritual. So we're coming up.
I mean, we could make that just a waypoint. It would save a little bit of time.
Yeah, we
The
can
next
do
day.
that. Since the next airport is not far away, just have to plenty of dead dino juice. I need to make that
Oh yeah, okay.
icon. Dead dino juice. Well, can always happen. I also had the scenario where I was supposed to work till lunch. So 1 p.m. and then go home. And then somebody got really sick.
And you couldn't go home.
Exactly. But whatever, you saw that he was really sick. Couldn't
Yeah.
stand straight anymore. And I'm not an asshole. Sorry for the word, but if I see when a coworker is sick,
Yeah.
then I cover their shift. If I can, of course. No. The one colleague from the main cash desk called in was not often. He works till he drops. An old school guy. But you have those colleagues, you have these colleagues. You can't just have the good ones.
Oh yes. There's the airfield.
Yep. How's the cat bed in the back?
Yeah, doing not too bad. 215 knots.
Ooh. Did you get out and push?
I guess.
He just changed the wind.
No, I didn't.
Storm from behind.
Poor kitty. Incoming. Oh boy.
Yeah. Turbo Bonanza is not a slow plane, but yeah, compared to those PTs, of course.
It's very difficult to find a plane that can really keep up with them.
Yeah.
If you want to sort of, stay in the same category. Because if you have a jet fighter, it's different. But
Yeah, of course.
I mean, a P-38 would do the trick.
Of course. I mean, that's like very powerful.
But
It's a twin engine. And it would stay on the center line.
it would. It would.
Is that like death from above? What do you mean, Phantom?
Yeah, it's the. I think it's called the Death. Yeah, it has this nickname. That's the one with the twin body to the back. Twin rump.
Yeah, who called it that way? The Japanese then.
Ah, the storm from behind.
That's Catbad.
What, am I the storm from behind?
No. I just thought you had a storm from behind.
Yeah, I'm having like, what? 3 knot tailwind at the moment, so...
Ooh, no wonder you're so fast. Yeah, 3 knots.
Yeah.
That's serious.
A whole 3
knots.
Exactly.
And then followed by that, that's
Don't sneeze.
the scream of Edward Monk smiley.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites, smiling too.
Yes.
If the guy had known how popular that painting was going to be, he wouldn't have believed it.
Oh no. Oh, I'm getting Guns N' Roses here on the Colombian radio. How weird is that?
Oh,
Pew, pew, pew.
I mean, guns okay. Guns seems to be Colombia, but roses.
Possibly both, but I mean, as a
For the
band.
mama.
And it doesn't
Roses
even
for the
have
ladies.
trumpets. There are not even trumpets in there.
No, electrical guitar solos, but
Which one? Which one is it? November Rain.
November Rain, yeah, exactly that
Okay,
one.
let me know if they actually play it till the real end. That's one of my.
Oh
that
yeah, I'll let you know.
If they cut that end off, I could always.
So pissed, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, because it
Yeah.
changes so
But
much.
it
It's
happens
fantastic.
so often.
Yeah, true.
He cut many pieces of music on the radio. You know, from Santa Esmeralda, Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood.
Yeah.
I love that song.
I mean, that's almost Mexican.
Oh, it's not November Rain, sorry.
It's not.
No, definitely not.
Is it Paradise City?
Nope.
Mhm.
Don't You Cry Tonight? I don't know the title of that song.
Oh,
Probably
yeah.
that.
It was a bridge, but too shallow. The original version from Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood is about 10 minutes long.
Mhm.
Wow.
Most of the time they cut that somewhere in the middle. Of course.
Another river going over a mountain here.
Oh dear.
Where should it go?
Yeah, as soon as a canyon gets too windy, it's too much for the sim.
Yeah.
I think it simply has not enough waypoints for the water courses. So if there are too many bends, it can't follow.
Just around the river bend.
Yeah. What I don't get is why they didn't leave the water be like as in picture.
Yeah.
Because it
Oh,
would have
it's-
been.
I mean, if you fly without photogrammetry, then these are the only rivers that you will see.
Hmm.
You don't see the actual real rivers.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It's like they could have left them in because it's not photogrammetry, but it's Bing Maps. It's like satellite
Yeah.
imagery. So leave in the pictures and that's it. Instead of trying to give him the reflection and all that.
Yeah, the reflection is not so important, I think.
Hmm.
But
It's nice, but not if it's badly done. Then it's better
Yeah.
left out.
so there was a time where all those games, game simulations, had their how to say that? They look tools the best, and if you don't have decent water animation, you would not be in first place.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
fair.
I can understand that with lakes and things like
Exactly, it's fair enough in a lake, but like having these square-looking rivers going over a mountain, yeah, not so much.
all the good stuff.
Yeah, but we paid for it. Yes. I'm just being a male Karen here. So,
You also paid for Windows. And does it work more all of the time? No.
more time does Sierra Kilo.
Sierra
What
Kilo
else?
Golf Zulu.
Yeah, I just couldn't think of a G. Grandpa. Yeah. Okay, that's coming up. So, where is it?
Somewhere over there. Aqui.
Yeah. Oh, could it be a non-tarmacy one?
The other
That's-
one was also non-tarmacy on Little Nav map, and it was tarmacy.
But this is definitely a green one. Which should suit the Spitty.
Yeah, since your Spitty does not like tarmac.
And hardly any buildings.
Damn it. I chose the wrong airport. What will the Spitty do in Old Kaitak?
Oh. My Spitty would never get out of there.
Well, it's enormous, so in fact she should have plenty of space.
Nightsep's Spitty likes buildings.
Ah, yeah, that's true. But the nearest building would be the airport terminal then.
For example.
Well, I just did a Robbie.
You did a Robbie?
Yeah, I stalled just before touching down.
Could try landing on a building, I suppose.
Yeah. Watch my paint.
What? That felt like butter. That never. No, I can't believe it. That's weren't 294. Nope.
It's a liar.
What's
You're lying.
294?
294. That was not a 294.
Well, you can't compete with mine.
Little.
1,614.
Oh, nice
In
number.
other words, look at that hole in the ground over there. Yeah,
That crater.
that's what you get when you stall.
Oh, a cat battage is incoming.
Yes.
LRM says 1906.
Oh, wow, I see a volcano in the distance. And that really has snow on it.
That then makes sense.
Yes.
Oh.
That's
There's
the
some
only
quite
snow you
around.
will find in Colombia is on that volcano, most likely.
be from Zeb's Landing. That volcano crater.
That could well be. Yeah.
Pack the stuff out.
Is it a straight in, guys?
Almost.
More or less.
More or less, okay.
Mhm.
Because for the moment, I only see your nameplates.
Yeah. But remember, it's no tarmac. That's why.
Oh, okay. I'll better slow down then.
Yeah. And the river is the Rio Magdalena.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. I have some issues.
You have some issues.
If I want to land on this runway, yeah, I'm coming in high and hot.
Okay, we're
Har,
watching.
har, har.
We got the cameras rolling.
Bit of side slipping will solve a lot of issues. So which is the runway really? Because I see like...
Well, the thing next to where we are. I
Okay.
think
Yeah, I think so.
it's a different shade of green. That looked smooth.
Yeah.
Good night, Super Typhon. Thanks for lurking.
Good night.
She slows down really well.
That's good. Und guten Abend. Hello, Raiders. Welcome in.
Just
Na,
in
habt ihr
time.
heute... Ja. Habt ihr uns jetzt genau beim Zusammenpacken erwischt? Wrapping up. So. You see where the tent is, Nights Up?
No. Okay. So I go a little bit.
Yep. Stop. Ah, perfect.
So where do you want me to park?
On the other side,
But there's another tent over
there's
there.
another tent.
Kaharia has a whole campsite.
Yeah.
Nice.
You got your own tents. Stop, Catbat. Stop, 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 stop. Or you're driving over your tent. If you turn a bit to me.
Yeah.
And a bit forward. Perfect. Whee. MacButcher, mir geht's supi. Für uns heißt jetzt, ja, wir gehen auch mal ins Bettchen. Sind an unserem Endflughafen für heute angelangt. Jetzt kommt noch der obligatorische Screenshot
Mit
für
Grill.
die Sammlung mit Camp natürlich. Gucken. So. Das schaut doch schon gut aus. Ich wünsche dir auch eine gute Nacht.
Oh, nice.
Das schaut
Ja,
doch gut aus.
But
Das schaut gut aus.
I feel that I'm not really getting good exposure in that angle. Yes, that's much better. But now Catbat is hidden. It's difficult to catch them all.
Make it from the other side one. Who brought the meat for the barbecue?
I had it under my seat, so it's really soft now.
Where's the cat pet?
Gaucho style.
Oh,
Cat-
hold on.
Did you
I know what
disappear?
happened. Yeah, I know what happened.
Did you press escape?
No, but it's kind of like the same thing when you switch off some stuff.
Yeah. Okay, now you're there.
So the cat pet got also a shot, and the Kenmore air livery.
I don't have to get more.
Kenmore air livery is one of the ugliest. Now, for
Why?
me,
I like orange.
you are in the green flight simulator livery for me.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm in a Bonanza one, but it's also green. Well, it's green. It's white with a green line on it.
So, guys, we're wrapping up. Thank you
Yep.
for joining over, McButcher and Party. But yeah, I have to go to bed. Tomorrow's a work day. Whee! You know
Okay.
how that feels. Have a good night, guys.
Good
We're
night.
signing out.
Good night.
Bye.